All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus channel. Mike Catalana, I'm Jenna Cottrell here. Before we get started, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're here in Kansas City, the Bills losing this one in overtime. What a game we just saw. What do you make of tonight?
There were so many things in this game. And look, you guys joke a lot that I've seen a lot of what the Bills have done in their franchise history. Yeah. I think this took parts of every devastating loss from this Bills franchise. We're going to talk about Josh Allen in a moment.
Yeah.
He was special. Not just great, special. Big moments, big plays. We're going to talk a lot about Josh, but there were things down the stretch, Jenna, that this team needed to do better in order to finish it off, and they couldn't get it done.
Let's start with the defense, because Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, they were all able to do what they did. And for the Bills being the number one ranked defense in the league, they did not look like it here in Kansas City.
Yeah, so many times, whether it was the right call or just the guy in the right place, they had Mahomes. They had him. They should have had sacks. They had tackles. And then late in the game, when you need to make a play, your quarterback put the team on his back, gave you the lead again. You could not get stops. The Hill play, you know what? You're playing straight defense there. Tyreek Hill is a superstar. He gets free. Jordan Poyer takes maybe a bad angle, but that speed is tough.
Yeah.
But with 13 seconds to go, Jenna, you've got to make one play.
I think that was the biggest thing, is they just couldn't make a stop. It felt like we were walking on the sidelines, the other reporters with our cameras, and we were just looking at each other because it felt like this Chiefs team could just move the ball at will. And Patrick Mahomes is an electric quarterback.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is an electric quarterback. But it just seemed like for this Bills team, they just could not keep Mahomes
the
off
biggest
the field.
plays. And Mahomes really was great. And you're playing here again. I don't know. Is it different if it's in Orchard Park? Yeah, I would think there's a good chance. But the Bills should have won the game. I mean, they should have won the game.
Yeah.
If you're going to say, if I said to any of you, 13 seconds left, Bills defense on the field, they're at the 25, they've got to drive down and kick a field goal, you would take that 1,000 times out of 1,000.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs still made the plays to get it done. It's on the defense.
This one just hurts.
Yeah, it is. So I said about these other losses. The 13 seconds left reminded me of being on the field in the game against the Titans, the Music City Miracle. That was more sudden because it was one play that beat you. This, unfortunately for you guys, was a series of, 4 plays. You know, you want to say the plays to get them, the field goal, and then the overtime. But it had that feeling of the Bills had the game, and how did they lose it? We're watching Music City Miracle highlights forever. You had the suddenness of losing with the opportunity to win the Super Bowl, you know?
Yeah.
The field goal, Scott Norwood, there it is.
Yeah.
So you have that too. But to put it together in a game like this where you had that performance out of your quarterback and you let your quarterback down really hurts.
Josh Allen was electric tonight. I mean, there were so many times where I thought that it would be the final kind of counterpunch from the Chiefs, where I was like, I don't know if the Bills can come back from this. I don't know. And then Allen would lead them down the field, that 4th and 13. I mean, I felt like whenever they needed someone to step up, it was Josh Allen, and he was phenomenal.
You have video of Josh with his teammates at the end of the game. How emotional, fired up was he when you'd see him on the sidelines like that?
Oh, I mean, he was in everyone's face in a good way. I mean, you could tell. I mean, first of all, we know it means so much to the team in general. But after the Bills were able to take back over the lead, I mean, he was in everyone's face, dapping up everyone, talking like you can just tell. I mean, he put the team on his back, and I have not seen as many Bills games as you've seen. And I haven't been around I didn't cover the team really during the drought, but to see a guy go toe-to-toe in Kansas City against this Chiefs team and be able to punch back. It's funny, I actually thought of it kind of like a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was like the Bills took their punches in the beginning, and then they kind of were on the defense, and then Allen was able to get in a couple really nice shots. Obviously, it didn't end the way Bills fans wanted it to, but just, I mean, everything you needed him to do, he did.
Yeah, it came to those 4th downs. The run for the first down was comically Josh Allen.
Oh, my God.
One play, he'd be trucking a defender. The next play, he's running around him, and then he's scrambling, getting the first down.
Yeah.
And then you go for it. And I liked when McDermott did that. I didn't like the punt earlier in the middle. He went for it early, then he punted.
Yeah.
Poor punt. Okay?
Yeah.
That's an issue. And then, boom, the Chiefs got the ball, and they're going down there to score. But on the other end, he went for it. You had to.
Yeah.
Think about it then. We're thinking at that point, man, you go for it here. There's only 2 minutes left in the game. 2 minutes left in the game. The Bills got the first down. They scored. The Chiefs drove down and scored.
Josh Allen is 25 years old.
Yep.
He's already got his contract out of the way. He doesn't have that hanging over
By
him.
the way, I said he's underpaid.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
He's
$250
underpaid.
million, and he's underpaid.
Yeah.
And you know what else? He wants to be in Buffalo. You see a lot of other talented quarterbacks
Yeah.
who maybe don't want to be on their teams anymore. All right, we talked about Allen, Gabriel Davis too.
Oh.
I mean, a guy. It's only his second year in the league. 4 touchdowns, some huge catches down the stretch.
How about the one on the 4th down when I think it almost seemed like Allen knocked him down. He was like falling back as he made the catch. Look, Stephon Diggs wasn't part of
Yeah.
it. I'm upstairs. You're on the field. I'm upstairs. I actually had the binoculars on. I'm watching Diggs. Maybe it was just me. I know he left the game briefly in the first half. He didn't look like he had the same explosiveness until he lit up the fan. I don't know. Did they show that on television? I don't know if they did. Look, we're going to have a lot of time to discuss what this team does, but you start looking right with the coaching staff. And I know a lot of you were on Brian Daboll. A lot of them were saying to me when the Bills were running the ball, they were trying to maintain the ball. I didn't like some of the play calls either, but he's also the guy that you had the perfect game last week.
Yeah.
And then he's also the guy when Josh Allen is throwing and making those plays, you're making those calls. No play caller is perfect. I think Leslie Frazier is an outstanding coach. His defense got tortured in this game.
Yeah.
They had no answers for Mahomes, no answers for Kelsey, no answers for Hill. It happens in this league. If you're the Chiefs side, you're going, we have no answers for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Look what Josh Allen did to him. But you talk about changes. Daboll, maybe Leslie Frazier.
Yeah.
I mean, they already lost Joe Shane.
Yeah.
Roster-wise, there's a lot of things that can happen. But, again, I'm going to leave you with the same thing. 17's on your team. He's on your team. You're in pretty good shape.
A lot of changes, we know,
Yeah.
moving forward.
And Sean McDermott taking some heat. Like I said about the kick, there's some other things. In these big moments, you got to make some of those plays. But let's be honest. At a certain point, Jenna, it does come down to the players, right? It comes down to making a play. One more play, and the Bills would be
Stop.
they would be at home next week
Yeah.
against the Bengals with a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
On my birthday.
Instead, they're home. It's your birthday.
I know. I
Jenna's
want
going to
it.
turn 21.
Yeah. I look great.
This is 4 straight years they're hosting the AFC Championship game,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
It does go through them, and they have a young quarterback. What is he? Same age?
26?
Yeah, he's a year
Yeah.
older than Josh. So this is who you got to fight. This is who you got to get through. But this year, I will say this. Last year it was the championship game. This year it's a game earlier. But this team progressed in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
think they progressed in being able to deal with adversity and come back. Deal with adversity and come back. They were playing their best football at the end of the year. It just didn't show up total team-wise in this last game.
Well, last year, too, in the playoffs, Allen had that great game against the Colts, and then he kind of faded against the Ravens and then the Chiefs. But this year, I think you have more promise going into next season because of the way Allen was able to dominate and to show up, and he just needed his defense to make one more stop.
Yeah, one more stop. 13 seconds. We're going to be hearing, we have all these phrases that go with the Buffalo Bills. This one's going to be 13 seconds. But got to make a play. They didn't make a play.
They did not. We'll have plenty of, I'm sad to say, off-season stuff moving forward.
Yep. Well,
So-
we'll keep an eye on all the stuff that's going on, all the possible moves.
Yeah.
You guys know that. We'll be here. We'll have that covered for you.
Yeah.
Try to get over it. This one's going to
know.
be tough. It's just going to – it is. These are the kind of losses that are tough to come back from. But your franchise does have a history of losing to Super Bowls and coming back, losing them, coming back. That's a toughness that you need as a franchise. And I think this team has it. They just got to find a way.
And this kind of reminds me of, I think going into the off season, I think of Allen when he had that loss, the first playoff loss in Houston, how motivated and how much he came back that next year. And I just feel like he's a guy that's going to be this is going to hang in his mind and Bill's players' mind. And I feel like this will encourage them to get back at it and really attack the off season and go forward. All right.
And get that last game at home. It could have been. Maybe
I
next year
know.
is when they get it.
It makes you think about how important that bye is and when you see the Chiefs and all of that stuff. Okay. For Mike, I'm Jenna. We'll have plenty more coming up on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll have plenty of off-season coverage. Thank you so much for watching us. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next time on the Buffalo Plus channel.
All right.
I'm sad.
I hope we've seen it before. We've seen more of this.